Hello, welcome back. This is the 25th Elo series, and yeah, and I'm playing. Alright, so this one is gonna be a little different, a lot different from some of the more recent episodes. I'm not getting anywhere on the Elo, you know? As much as I talk about it, I'm just nowhere near on the board where I was at this time last season. So, I'm going to just play. It's going to be a lot more fighting based, I guess, than topic. I've been trying to figure out build UHC, and oh, okay. I've been trying to figure out build UHC. You know, as much as Jesus Christ, I look at this ladder so fucking much. It's so hard. You know, the other ladders, they're not really simple, but this one's so complicated. You know, and there are some people that are good at it just because they're fucking good at it. And what are you gonna do? But I've been playing it on alts, and it is actually far easier on alts. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Come here. Oh. The gap here, and... Nope, nope, nope. This is a bad start. This is a very bad start. See, I mean, I just don't know, like, when to heal, really. It's when the gap versus when the head, you know. I mean, I am actually gonna die. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. He's low, though. I know it. I've definitely been winning, so. Alright, let's finish it. Okay. Phew. Well, that was a rocky start, to say the least. But, I don't know, let's just keep going. But yeah, build UHC, I mean, holy fuck. The ladder is so ridiculously complicated. I mean, I look at that more than any ladder. I have like 1,000 matches played this season in fucking build, and like, not even that many in all the other ladders combined. All the 14 other ladders combined. I mean, there's a reason why it's the most popular kit. Why is that? Well, that's a tougher question. But I think it's because it pretty accurately represents a global, skill. I mean, not to say it's evenly, based between sword and bow and rod and obviously pot, but I mean, there's something about the healing that is a lot like potion PvP, and I thought about this too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I thought about this too. I mean, it is actually surprising how much the healing in build UHC lines up with the healing in pot. Like, you know, gappling is kind of lines up with single pot and super gap. Okay, this might be dangerous. I'm going for it anyway. Oh, he's laggy. Come here. There we go. On laggy people, you always gotta get this early bow shot in, or rod, or really anything, so that they take knockback at the right time. It's actually ridiculous. How many people are, like, just lagging around now? That's a late knockback is, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I mean, it's the biggest advantage you can have. You know? But it comes at a price, of course. It's not easy to play laggy. But the people who are good at it are ridiculous. Oh. Yeah. Well, the reason I don't know. I got real mad today. Because, I was just like looking at the Elo boards. And I was looking. And then I looked at the Archer leaderboard, and I'm like, alright. And I just see a bunch of like EU names. And then the guy at the top, he's 2400. He's like gang member somebody. I don't even remember. I haven't really been playing it much since Do quit, because I don't know, it's just not as much fun. The ladder's not really fun, and the maps are all bad, but so I've been playing a lot more build. Try to get better at that. I'm starting to figure it out though. I mean, I went on an alt and I was doing really well, but it's much harder to play on my main, of course. Oh, come here. Oh shit. It's good. Let's gap here. Ouch. I could always go back to playing defensive, but I feel like that's not even the way to do it. To, you know, get a lot better at it. I mean, I'm not shooting for no fucking 2300. Actually, I think I'm 20. Yeah, I'm not shooting for 2300. I'm shooting to be real fucking good at this kit. It's just something I feel like I definitely should be good at. It's kind of like Badline UHC. You know, whenever I'm not good at the kit, it almost, you know, triggers me into wanting to do best at that kit. It's a lot like Gapple in, I think it was like season 4 or 6 or something, when it was first added, and I was ass at it, right? But then, as time went on, I played it, and it became probably one of my best kits. The same thing happened to Vanilla and SG, and I've been waiting for it to happen to Build, but it's just not. So, I don't know. It's a work in progress, I guess. Like I said, it's a complicated ladder, and I don't think really anyone that's very good at it understands it completely. I don't think anyone understands it completely. I think it's a lot more than... Oops. Alright. I mean, I don't think Dante is best to build just because he understands it the best. I'm sure he understands it a good length, and a good bit better than really anyone else, but... I mean, this is actually probably the ladder with the highest skill cap. There's so many skills involved, not just sword and bow. I mean, but things like basic block placement. You know? And it doesn't sound like a very hard thing, but there's some people... It sounds weird that are just, like, really good at these, like, weird skills, like block placement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. That was good. But yeah, like, a lot of OCTC players are like that. Let's try again. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There we go. A lot of OCTC players are really good at block placement. But more than that. And this is the reason why I think it's probably the most global ladder, and also the most skill-based ladder, is because it is so much about pressure. And, I mean, just keeping up this constant pressure, it's something that rewards this pressure a ton. And you have to also find a good balance between offensive and defensive, or you'll get out-healed, right? Alright, let's gapple here. Oh, shit. That's a bad idea. Let's try this again. Alright. I think I'm winning. Just by a little, though. Alright, go. I don't know. Build is a phenomenon I have never seen before in this game. You wouldn't think it's such a complicated ladder. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward, but missed that by a mile. He missed a poison too, though. Okay, he hit his regen, so I'm going in. Come here, you fuck. Yeah, he's backing up. There we go. Fuck, I still haven't hit him. There we go. Usually people can read my debuffs pretty well. I mean, it's not very complicated. I hit them and then I fucking debuff, but then I switch it up. You know, as would make sense, right? There's another regen, so I hit him with that. I actually don't have any debuffs left, so we're going in. Vanilla. I don't know if I just said this now. I think I did. Oh shit. Okay. But vanilla, I was disgustingly bad at this ladder. Alright, come on. I mean, you know, I've played pot for a long time, but vanilla, I always dropped. It is so squishy, and I mean, it's just a kit I couldn't handle, but I forced myself to learn this, you know? I forced myself to analyze the best players. The difference is, alright, this guy pulled out a knockback sword, I'm pretty sure. Buff back up. The difference is here that, you know, on old Badlion, when I wasn't good at something, or when anyone wasn't good at something, they could play the best players pretty often, but... And that's still true in a lot of ladders. Yeah, he's pulled out a knockback sword. Alright, so I'm gonna have to play this pretty smart. Might be dual-wielding swords, although I'm not sure about that. Okay. A lot of jumping. Oh my god. Might try to run out my buffs. I don't know why knockback's still in this fucking ladder. It's actually so dumb. Alright. Alright, I got him. Is that knock 1 or 2? Yeah, knockback 2. Jesus. But I mean, yeah, when you were bad at something, or when I was bad at something at least, back on old Badlion, I think the first thing, I mean, you could play the best players. Playing the best players was not an uncommon occurrence, but in build, you play the best player, that is a phenomenon, to say the least. Because not only, oops, 1 second. Because not only is, well, are the best players so much better. I mean, the skill gap is humongous between Dante and, I don't know, Beryllium or whoever's like number 10, you know? Like Moxie's like number where's Build? Yeah, like Dante and Killor, and then there's like Bonnie Rondage. Strength enabled. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Maybe those are really big names. I actually don't have any idea, so. But, I mean, the skill gap is humongous. But more than that, the elo gap is humongous, you know? To play Dante, you have to actually have over 2,000 elo at this point. Right now, his elo is 2730, and you can only play people within 720 of your elo. You have to be over 2,000 to fight Dante. You know? There's something about the current elo system as it grows larger and larger. Sorry, I'm gonna off track for a lot here. I was bored the other day, and you know, like any good Minecraft player, when they get bored, I actually looked up. You know, I just looked at the Wikipedia page for elo, cause yeah, I'm a fucking loser. But so I looked at the Wikipedia page for elo, and I knew it was originally designed for chess. And I knew that, you know, the way the Badlion uses it is much different from, you know, other things, not servers, but, you know, games in general, like chess and whatever else. But see, other servers, I've talked about problems like elo inflation, I've talked about problems like a global tilt, but that actually doesn't make a difference in like chess, because in chess there's your chess elo. You have a chess rating, and it doesn't really matter if it becomes inflated. It is true that, you know, a 2700 from today is not as impressive as a 2700 50 years ago, but that's the only problem. I mean, there's no global elo, of course. Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh my lord! Okay, sorry about that. Is he laggy? Or am I horrible? No, he's laggy. Probably both. Come here. Oh, shit. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble here. Let's bow him down. Okay. So I was reading about this ELO thing, and one problem, you know, like I said, other games and whatever uses ELO, they don't really have this problem of a global tilt or ELO inflation or even ELO manipulation, because it doesn't really matter. But they do have this problem, which I think hasn't actually applied all that much to Bad Lion for a long time. And it's called, I actually have no fucking idea what it's called, but it's where it discourages number one to play. So, you know, it's weird because ELO, it's assumed, follows a normal distribution. If you don't know what that means, I don't know how to explain it to you, but basically what it means is that there should be about as much ELO beneath 1400 in the ELO pool as there should be above 1400. Approximately, of course. Wait. Actually, no, actually it has to be exactly as much ELO below 1400 as there is ELO above 1400. Yeah, that's true. What else? What else? I wonder if that's true. Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because there's a finite amount of yeah, okay. But, what was I talking about again? I'm a fucking idiot. I was talking about, like, yeah, it discourages these top people to play because obviously, if you're the top player and you can only get so much ELO by beating somebody who would be a very high risk and you might lose your number one position, why would you fucking play? You know? And that's actually happened a lot on Badland, but it doesn't really matter that much until your ELO pool starts growing much larger. And I don't think that's true for all of Badlands ladders. Obviously, there are different ones. And if there is one that it's true for, it's Build UHC. You know? I mean, Dante keeps playing because he's a nut, but if it weren't Dante, if any other ladder, if any other players had, like, an ELO gap that he does, I think it's what? Him and Killer are at, like, 26, 2700, and the number 3 is, like, 2540, maybe? How much ELO can he get off that? Not that much, right? Uh-oh, I didn't heal. I should have healed. Ouch. I'm low on arrows. I'm gonna die, fuck. There we go. There we go. There it is. I'm dead. Okay, I'm not dead. Phew. So I was reading about this problem that has happened in other things. 10, 11? I don't know. And this problem where the top players would stop playing. And some places had this fixed to it, right? Where, again, I don't remember what it's called. I don't even know if it had a specific name, but what it was your ELO, if you go inactive, would devalue. That's a fancy way of saying it would go down. Because, you know, the idea is that if you get really, really good off of a tactic that you invent, right? You just become the best at the ladder. Which has happened before on Badline, absolutely. You become the best at the ladder, not necessarily because you are the most mechanically skilled, but more so that maybe you created a strategy of some sort that makes you the best at it, and then you get this crazy high elo, like ridiculously high above the rest of you know. There's a high elo gap. You know what that means. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you have this high elo gap. When you were the best player, why would you ever play again? And then maybe people start to figure out your strategy, start to become just as good. Well, you're still way above everyone. Because now 2, 3, 4, and 5 all know the exact same thing that made you good. And you know, if you play them, you might not win. Because again, you weren't the most mechanically skilled. You just won because you had a better strategy than all of them. And while that's a legit way to, you know, get a high elo in the, you know, before everyone else learns it, when everyone else learns it, you should still have to prove that you're the best. I've said before that elo's not about skill, it's more about consistency, but I mean, how can it test that if you're not required to play? Now, I'm not sure how Badline could do this. I'm not even sure if it should. I'm not sure if it's big enough to do it, but, I mean, it's undeniable that, you know, I don't think Dante is the best at build because he has, you know, the most mechanical skill in Minecraft. I mean, it's not arguable that he has, you know, one of the best. You know, he's one of the best players, global players in general. But I mean, do you think it's because he just never fucks up? He does the exact same thing as everyone else, but he's just a robot? No, that's not true. That wouldn't make any sense. I mean, there's a couple of things that he consciously does, or maybe at this point unconsciously, because he's been doing it for a while, that he consciously carries out every time he plays, and that's what makes him win. Well, someone in the future, potentially, will figure it out. And if that someone is just as or more mechanically skilled than Dante, and by the way, I've been saying mechanically skilled. What I mean by that is, it's, what do I mean by that? It's, you know, like basic strategies, not even strategies, like click speed and aim, you know? Oh. Okay. I think he's just laggy. Not sure. Oh. Oh. I don't think he's just laggy. I got him. I'm gonna go ahead and ban that guy for a couple of things. Oh, perp then. This guy's good. Ouch. Nice shot. Alright, I'm gonna put this topic on hold. Shit. I want to talk, but also Perp Dan is too good for that, so. I'll make this one a little longer. I haven't done one in a while. Actually, I've been doing, like, weekly ones, which I kind of like. They get a lot more views. You know, when I'm not banging them out every 2-3 days. Plus, they take a long-ass time just to record, render, upload. I mean, you can imagine, it's a 30, 40-minute video. Come here. Drop, and, no. No? There we go. Good fight. That puts me at 1800. Oh, I forgot to check what elo was at the start. So, I don't know. What's the end product of all of this? But I know, I said it would be about more gameplay-based one, but yeah, fuck that. I love these topics. It's so much more fun than just basic gameplay. So what was I saying? I need a name for this. Should I call it elo deflation? That probably wouldn't make much sense, huh? But this elo inactivity. I don't know. But you understand the concept of, as you know, you have to play, or your elo will decline. Decay. Elo decay. I think that's what it's actually called. I think that's the genuine name for it. No promises. So So what's the point of this whole discussion, if you will, on elo decay? Well, I mean, what really got me thinking about this was the fact that nobody can play the best players anymore. You know? The elo pool stagnates. It won't move forwards because this guy has this nutty strategy and no one else can learn it. And, you know, there's this giant elo gap between him and everyone else. And if someone else learns it, I mean, why would they share it? The only reason for Dante to play at this point is because he needs another YouTube video or someone has passed him up. And who would pass him up? Because, here's the thing. I've been talking about game sense and, you know, unconscious competence for 20 episodes now. Nah, well, not 20, but 5 episodes now. And, Dante has this great strategy. I'm convinced of it. What it is, obviously, if I knew, I would fucking do it. But I don't. But someone will. Someone will figure it out. Maybe someone already has. There's some sorry. Jesus. But there's something specific, or a couple things specific that he does that makes it easier for him. Someone will figure it out. There's no question about that. And if, you know, and if they already haven't, it'll happen in time. I actually might be losing this fight. So let me run away, take off my helmet, and go back in. Okay. Apple here. He's critting hard. Alright, I got his helmet. Yeah, I'm actually way ahead. Never mind. I just feel like, you know, back in the old seasons, I'm not talking season 10 or season 9. I'm talking season 4, 5, 6. Not 5 because that was AIDS, but season 4 and 6 and 3. When someone was really good, they got figured out. It happened a lot. Especially, I'm thinking of the bow game because I think the meta is easier to track in the bow game than in the sword game. I mean, sword, what's happened? Like, people started clicking fast? I don't know. There's more than that, but I don't understand it as well as the bow meta. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But back in the day, when someone got really good at bow, it wasn't because his aim was better than everyone else. That doesn't exist, you know? I mean, sure, people have better aim than other people, but to be mechanically flawless, no, that's not real. And especially not to the point where no one else can ever beat you. And I think it's pretty safe to say that this is also the case in the sword game. I don't know it as well, but I know that the two aren't very different. Come here, Munzel. Ow, fuck. What was that about block placement, Hivlik? Ooh. Elo decay. Why should it be a thing? Should it be a thing? How should it be a thing? That's a question for somebody else. I was talking about the progression in meta. You know, as the meta progressed, the meta was forced to progress because the number one player couldn't stay at number one. No one had a strategy good enough to the point where, you know, like Dante has now. Plus, at this point, Plus, at this point, in Dante's strategy, I mean, people were constantly moving the bow meta, and catching up in the bow meta, but for Dante, I mean, he figured out whatever this is a long time ago. You know, back last year, you know, late last year, if not earlier. And now he's just been building this game sense. I mean, he's probably had it for a long time. If you went to look to analyze him, you probably couldn't find exactly what he does in his newer stuff, because the stuff he consciously does is barely there anymore. That's the thing about game sense. That's the thing about progressing from the third stage of competence to the fourth, is as you make that transition, I mean, the third stage, it can do two things. You know, it can resurface every time you're in trouble, or it can disappear entirely. And it's not a dichotomy like that. It's not such a clear cut, but I mean, it still holds true that Dante's been working at this strategy for such a long time. He's got such a head start on everybody else. What is... Okay. He's got a head start on everyone else. You know, I'm sure someone actually probably has looked at all of Dante's videos and said, oh, well, this is what he does. And then tried to do it, but they couldn't. Is it because Dante's so incredibly mechanically better than everyone? That's some of it. That's some of it. There's no denying, again, that... Oh my god, you fucking come here. Again, there's no denying that Dante is a ridiculously good player, with or without a strategy, but... I mean... more than that, he's got the game sense on this specific strategy that no one else has, or will have for a long time. Maybe at all. And you know why? Because Dante, when he was developing this strategy, he played the best of the best. At the time. What actually just fucking happened? Okay, sorry. He played the best of the best at the time. With this new strategy. And he developed it to the point where it became a breeze to him. You know, that's what the fourth stage of competence is. He developed it playing good players. Playing the best players. Someone now can only develop it playing bad players. Mediocre players. You know? No one is... Dante is not forced to fight anybody. Anybody. Until someone contests him for that number one spot. Killer is getting there, but... I don't know. I can't... You know, I can't say much about it, because I can't say I've watched many of either of their fights. I saw them just fucking around, you know, queuing ranked, fighting on NA4 the other day. And, you know, and they were fighting, and Killer was giving them a good fight, but I think Dante's still clearly number one. Not just in Elo. I don't know, though. Elo decay is tricky. You know, I think actually that's why we have seasons. You know, the seasons make they have the same effect as the Elo decay, and it. Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh shit! All right. Oh, is he lagging? Yeah, he's lagging. All right, here I go. Oh, fuck, are you serious? He was gonna have a heart. Man, that was gross at the end. Destroyed me. I guess that's why we have these seasons. But still, it's only at the start of the season that that Dante has to play anybody. You know? And at this point, since nobody caught on to his strategy before, at this point, he's just so far ahead of everyone that that original conscious strategy might not even surface at all. Because it's such a... Wow, holy shit. What? Alright. Because it's so different now. It's such a big change between that original, you know, third stage of competence where he's, I don't know, he's doing some weird pressure or whatever that just happens to beat everyone. To now, he does whatever he likes, and if he plays someone who gives him a good fight, I don't know, it's built into his muscle memory, you know what to do. It flows him a lot more nicely. You know, if people tried to develop a strategy that beat his strategy, I don't think it would work anymore because he's had such a long time to develop this game sense that he can just bend around and he can play any strategy. I don't know. It's a difficult topic, and I just don't know enough about build to comment on it. It's a hard ass ladder. It really is. Or maybe I'm all wrong, and maybe Dante is just actually a fucking wizard. You know what? What do you know? You don't know anything. This is, well, hang on. This is the first time, really, that someone's had such a large gap between number 1 and, I'd say, number 2. It's actually really number 1 and number 3, but but the point is, the fact that I think very few people, if any, understand really what make either Dante or Killora good, means that I don't know. Let's go back to the bow meta for a second. I know that better. In the bow meta, there were always some pretty clear-cut heads of the game. You know, whether it was Chris the Noob or Morsinius or Doe or anyone, there were always some pretty clear number 1, number 2, so on. But then there was always a second tier, a second very good tier. I don't think it's the same in build. I don't think it's the same. There's obviously a second tier behind Dante and them, but oh what? I didn't get this level back. All right. But it's not the same as the one was for the bow meta. That second tier in the bow meta was a bunch of people that did the same shit that the top tier players did all the time, but worse. But they understood it. They understood what made them, you know, what made the top guys good, for the most part. I think the second tier in build plays so very differently to Dante or Killora. I keep referencing Killora, like it plays like Dante. I actually have no fucking idea. I barely even noticed he was on top of the board until just recently. Sorry about that. I got interrupted. Wouldn't be a Hiblet video without getting interrupted, right? But yeah, I mean, the tier beneath Dante just plays so differently. Dante plays real aggressive, you know, real based on hitting the other guy when he's healing, you know, punishing him for healing early. But the second tier, it's weird. It's almost totally different. There's a bunch of like people who just bow spam the fuck out of you and do this weird like water tactic bullshit that you'd never see Dante do. Or not never, but rarely, to say the least. I don't know. If I figure it out, I'll let you know, for sure. What letters did I go down in? Diamond and soup? Yeah, I think so. I got 1900 apple. That's nice. So I said this was gonna be more gameplay based. I guess that was a dead lie. But still a good topic. It's a confusing topic, to say the very least. I've probably said that 20 times this video, but it is. No lie. Alright. I'm gonna finish up this iron build fight with stealing IG. This is very skill-based iron build fight. And I'm gonna finish the video up. Come here, buddy. Come on. Man, times like this, I wish I had fucking lava. Alright. Thank you for watching. Here's where I give you a normal outro. But, I don't know how to do that, so... Bye.